Hello everyone, this is Lloyd from Bizzfo, and what I want to share with you today is the refactoring we've done on our stock movement screen and also our stock text screen. Now the reason for the refactoring is in previous versions we did find it a bit difficult to track down movement. It was small things like displaying transactional dates instead of process dates. And some general feedback from our clients just to simplify it and then assist, and some refactoring and more testing to make sure that everything is working as we expect. So let's have a look. I've done a bunch of transactions so we can have a look at them. Starting off with the mention on the stock take screen. For those that remember, there used to be a variance report listed here. We've combined it into our movement summary report. And that was simply because the report was not, it is a variance report, but it should not be used in the date range, and it's quite difficult to read as it does not calculate your balances, which we'll show you right now. So the main change then would be just to mention there is a filter now. So let's just quickly have a look. I don't have a lot of products, but if you type in Coke, it just helps you to filter. But if you want to see what the movement was, you would click on your movement summary, and this is the screen that we've refactored. Just to show you other ways to get there, this would be your normal movement screen, and then also on your reports you've got your stock movement screen. You'll notice we did change the name from movement history on date range. That just means you can select the detail. This is normally the report that the clients used for variances, which it does show, but it's not really great. As you can see, Coke is listed multiple times, and it's very difficult to track what has gone, what the movement was. So let's just go back to our movement screen and we'll talk you through the changes. So the major changes on this screen would be the following. There's some layouts and colors that was introduced. What is important is this snapshot. I would recommend doing snapshots daily, weekly, or monthly. It can be set with your cash up. And the reason for the snapshot is we need to have an opening balance. So you can see the date is set the 14th. Have a look at the opening balance. So if I change the date way back before my snapshot and I click refresh, you'll see the opening balance is 0, which is not incorrect at all. You'll notice our closing balances are not changing, so it is considering the movement, but it just sometimes makes it easier to have a point in time to work from. So let's have a look at this data, and the screen. I can hide this. If you want that column back, you can just open it up again. Let's go back to movement, and this column will appear. And let's just have a look. Let's just take one or two of these products and see what's happening. I do want to show you right at the bottom. So from a management perspective, what you want to do is you actually want to have a look at this stock movement. And right at the bottom, it says adjustment summary. Now, this adjustment summary is summing all the yellow columns. And it gives me an idea of what is the adjustments that was made. So if I go, let's just select this date. I've done some testing, so just to get some more data in it. You can see for Castle Light, we've got a branch transfer that was done, and there was actually a stock adjustment done as well. And then on this one, again, a branch transfer and just a stock adjustment item removed. And on this one, we've got a written off item. Okay, so let's understand this data a bit better. So let's go to the Castle Light. I'm going to click it. I can filter this list as well by simply double clicking it. It'll filter it, but I'm just going to click on the summary detail. Now this is a great improvement from our previous version in the sense that obviously we've introduced some colors. We've also added the movement column, so you can get a better idea of how the quantity was shifting towards what it is currently, which is 0. And you'll also notice that if you click, this is a stock transfer, I can go in the stock movement report and then it'll automatically open so I can see quantity set because it's just showing the variance for us currently. Same with the stock take. I can see that it's saying there was adjustment of 50, so there's a movement of 50. what happened on the stock take, and we can see that we went from quantity 0 to 50. Okay, so that's great. Let's have a look at the other ones. We had another branch transfer. Let's just see what happened on this one. So we actually probably just moved the product around, quantity 0, no real movement on that product. And then we've got another stock take, movement quite big, 50. Let's have a look what happened there. We were in 100 and we set it to minus 50. So it's a variance of 150. Good. And maybe just jumping to the supplier. So if I click on my movement report, it opens up my supplier so I can see my quantity that arrived. And on my sold, I can have a look to see what happened. That's an invoice, stock movement, and it opens and shows me the invoice where I sold the item. Right, good. If you click on the refresh, just as a tip, it shows you for this date range. So I can click on any specific product patty and I can click on refresh and then I can view. It's just a different way of filtering it, or I can click on my burger and click on refresh. But what I want to do is I'm just going to go back this way. I'm going to go reset the filter. Let's have a look at this one. So what is this? This is a patty. Let's just see what the movement was on patty. We're sitting on 10. So let's see what happened to this one. So initially we got a supplier invoice in. It was a 12. We'd done a recipe, which is -2 for interest sake. Let's just have a look. So what have we got here? We've got a burger that we sold 2 of them, and I know this one is a recipe, so it deducted 2 patties. Happy with that one. Then let's see, we did a stock movement. Perfect. We just confirmed the quantities. That's good. Then we did a write-off. So 10 to 8 -2. We're happy with that one. And then on a recipe, now notice this recipe is saying in because it's a credit note. So let's just have a look what this looks like, and indeed it's a credit note. All right, what else? I think the major thing, this button movement history, again, this is what typically was used for the variance report, but we would recommend using this screen. As you can see from the navigation, it makes more sense tracking down what you are looking for in terms of, again, a burger for interest sake, what happened. But your movement history report is still there. In essence, this name was changed. This was usually or this was called a variance report, which it is. You can see your variances, but again, it is not really good for understanding what the total movement was on Coke. So it was quite a difficult report to read. This is what it looks like. A slight change we made. We took the note out just to show that the stock transfers. So you can see what that quantity is. And then again, there's also a filter. So the nice thing, I can see what the movement is or the net based on the Coke. And I can print this one so I can see what is the actual movement. So this is typically what I would use this report for. Then maybe lastly, these ones I don't use that often, so we can just ignore them for now. I think this will give you the bulk of what you need. So please have a look at how to navigate, look at your data and understand it. If you have queries, please feel free to reach out to the team. This is quite new changes. It's going out actually today. So if you have any queries or feedback or any suggestions, we will happily assist with that. And that is all I would like to cover for now. So guys, thank you. As I mentioned, any questions, please feel free to contact the team and they will gladly assist with some advice.